Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about how the Continental Army and the new United States gained foreign alliances during the war. So, as we talk about this, there's some things that we need to talk about first, and it's starting with the Continental Congress meeting in Philadelphia. As they are meeting in Philadelphia, they've realized after the Battle of Trenton and Princeton that mercenaries and foreign alliances are going to be key to winning the war, as well as a peace after the war. So they have somebody that's not really able to fight because he's too old. They have Benjamin Franklin that is going to be pivotal to getting foreign alliances. They're going to send Benjamin Franklin on a ship, not to England, but a ship to go get these foreign alliances and hopefully gain some mercenary muscle in Europe in order to fight off England. And one of the things before we even start talking about it is England is a quote unquote like hated nation. Okay, they are the bulldog bully of this whole area of the world, the European world, and their navy has been able to pretty much shut down trade for France, Spain, and some of the German kingdoms. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay. So, Benjamin Franklin. We like to present this as a dinner party. Benjamin Franklin is going to go to Europe, and when he goes to Europe, he is going to go to the homes of some of his rich friends and propose a toast to anyone and everyone that will listen to his comments on why they should hate the British. This is during the time that Britain, with its navy, is bullying other countries, so a lot of people are willing to listen to him. Okay, the first person that listens to Benjamin Franklin is actually going to be in France. He's going to arrive in France, and he's going to meet a young aristocrat, which is a nobleman named the Marquis de Lafayette. And the Marquis de Lafayette is going to help out with multiple things. First off, even though he's newly married, he is going to agree with the foundations of liberty and the protection of rights so much that he leaves his wife. He just barely got married like a month before, and he immediately goes to the colonies, goes to the United States, and he actually helps protect George Washington. One of those many times that George Washington would have been killed. The Marquis de Lafayette is somebody that helps save George Washington from being attacked. He gets wounded during that time. That's why I'm drawing him on crutches and with a cast. And he gets wounded during this time, and he then travels back across the ocean with Benjamin Franklin in order to go get more alliances. And what they're really looking for are mercenaries, people that are willing to help fight, and people that are soldiers for hire, but also expertise for hire. Because Washington needs to take his army that are okay fighting in the woods in guerrilla format to something that's more of military style or European military, where they're willing to line up and exchange fire against each other. We talk about this frequently, but it is a complex of like rifles versus tanks. What's going to win? And in the short of the battle, a tank will always win. So they're looking for ways to improve the American military, the Continental Army. Okay. So, as the Marquis de Lafayette, and Benjamin Franklin travel again across the ocean in order to go get more foreign alliances. The Marquis de Lafayette hooks Benjamin Franklin up with two Polish guys. Okay, and some world history at this point. Poland is being pressed between two world powers that are doing almost the same thing with system of empire that the English are doing with their navy at sea. It is going to be Prussia, so what becomes modern Germany, and modern day Russia, where they are squeezing the modern country of Poland in between the two, which is going to allow the Polish to learn how to fight. Again, they're looking for mercenaries and people that know how to fight. So, two of the mercenaries that they are going to get from this are going to be Casimir Pulaski and a guy named Thaddeus or Thad Kosciuszko. So let's talk about Casimir Pulaski first. You don't really need to know all of this. I'm a nerd, you get it. But Pulaski and the way that the Prussians and the Russians and everybody fought in Eastern Europe was from horseback. They fought with cavalry. So Pulaski is going to be known as the father of the American cavalry, where they're using horses to military advantage. And this isn't just for the officers in the military at this point. This is for everybody. And they're going to introduce cavalry charges to the Americans with the power of the cavalry. Okay. With Pulaski, we have the cavalry. And we talked about Saratoga at the beginning of today. One of the people that help with Saratoga is going to be Kosciuszko. And Kosciuszko was a person that knew the power of the cavalry and knew that there must be a way to stop advancing armies. So he was the engineer in his family. He's almost like the kid that constantly plays with Legos. He dumps over the big bin and it's more Legos than you've ever seen in your whole entire life. And that is Kosciuszko. Okay. Kosciuszko is going to introduce Army Engineers or Engineering Corps. These are all things that we still have today. Another person that is going to be introduced to Benjamin Franklin is going to be a guy named Baron von Steuben. Okay, and Baron von Steuben is actually going to come from Prussia. And one of the things that Prussia, and you should know about Hesse is down here. It's a little kingdom with a bunch of mercenaries in it. Okay. One of the things that they were doing was they were enforcing military discipline very well. Okay. And Prussia was enforcing military discipline just as well as Hesse. So, one of the people that was really good at teaching people how to be soldiers was a guy named Baron von Steuben. And he was really into the pomp and circumstance of the Prussian military. He liked the funny hats. He liked all the medals. But more than all that, he liked yelling at people to do their job. He is going to introduce military discipline, but also drilling to the Americans. We're talking about Valley Forge today as well, and he is going to introduce military order. Okay, we're talking about Marquis de Lafayette, Pulaski, Kosciuszko, and Baron von Steuben. These aren't the only guys that helped out during the American Revolution. These are just some of the largest. And these are people that Benjamin Franklin specifically talked to in order to try to get them to come to the Americas. There's also a governor down here in Louisiana, which is owned by Spain, and Florida as well, named Bernardo de Galvez, who is going to help out the Americans by sending money and as well as getting the Spanish kingdom to give money and ships. So, last thing is we're talking about Spain. Who's going to give money and ships. Now, a question is, why are these people helping out the Americans? Some of them truly believe in freedom. Marquis de Lafayette believes in freedom. He helps the French Revolution later on. Pulaski and Kosciuszko from Poland, they believe in freedom against empire as well. And then Baron von Steuben is just happy to go and be part of a military again. But as we're talking about these guys, all of these things are going to lead to victory. If you've ever played the game Risk, then you've seen all of the small little game pieces. We have the infantry and the foot soldiers that are willingly saluting. And we have the cannons and the artillery that require money in order to be part of the military, right? We also have the idea of the cavalry. This is eventually going to change into tanks, but something that can charge through battle lines. This is the weirdest horse I've ever drawn. And it didn't turn out that bad, but yeah, okay. Great. And then we have the idea of army engineers who are in charge of building forts and building defenses for these situations. Okay. This is it on the foreign helpers. Let me know if you have any questions.